Tom Hardy's Splinter Cell movie is officially dead. Do you know what Splinter Cell is, or do I have to explain that to you? It's a video game series.
I know, basically.
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. It takes place in the Tom Clancy universe.
It's one of those crack team go in and...
Well, not really a crack team. He's all alone. It's a stealth game where you as Sam Fisher are the one-man army. But it...
So what you're saying is this Tom Hardy project is as dead as little Tom Hardy in a Gray Still Plays playthrough. See, Netter gets what I'm saying. Any of you that want to catch that, Plays, you get that reference.
He played as the voice of Sam Fisher in the games, right?
No.
Michael Ironside.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really good as Sam Fisher. So, and he would explain, they did interviews on one of the, I think on one of the games, they had an interview with Michael Ironside. And he was saying, I use different tones depending on how the character is interrogating the guy in the game,
Yeah.
And he explains how he changes his voice and makes it very, aggressive and stuff. And it was neat. He was, some argued at the time these games came out, you probably could have had Michael Ironside play him for real in the movie, because Sam Fisher's supposed to be an older character. He has like a teenage daughter. He was at least in his 40s, maybe early 50s at this point. He was like an old timer, but he was an expert at doing these special missions, and it took place in the Tom Clancy.
Wasn't Michael Ironside Lois's father in
Smallville? Yes, the general. Yes. Was
it Sam Lane or something like that?
I don't know how Tom Hardy would have done. Yeah, I forget her dad, the general. I remember that.
Right.
It was interesting when the Kent said, "Oh, you want to come over for dinner?" "Oh, I can't," or whatever. I got to get back to base. I'm like, yeah, they should have had Michael Ironside over at the Kent house for dinner. That would have been
right.
And it's funny because Michael Ironside on Superman the Animated Series was the voice of Darkseid.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about terrifying. They got the best actors to play the villains on those cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
You had Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor. You had Powers Booth was the voice of Gorilla Grodd.
Right.
I mean, it's just... Troy, I remember hearing rumors that this was going to be a live-action movie. These rumors started when the Splinter Cell game came out. I think it was on Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. They did, I can't talk about the Splinter Cell movie. And it's like, we know the Splinter Cell movie is going to happen, and it never did. Here's the news story. Splinter Cell is an iconic game franchise set, one that fans have been hoping to see unfold in live action on the big screen, though sadly doesn't seem to be happening anymore. The story follows a Black Ops super spy named Sam Fisher working for the fictional agency Third Echelon under the NSA. The first entry landed in 2002 as an Xbox exclusive title and has gone on to create 7 different games. The film adaptation was officially reported to be in development by Deadline in 2012, with it being revealed later that year that Tom Hardy was in talks to star as Sam Fisher himself. In 2014, Edge of Tomorrow director Doug Liman was announced to be as the director of the film. Yeah, that would have been good. Which was produced by Ubisoft New Release as an edgy PG-13 action flick. I could see it along the lines of like a Jason Bourne movie, maybe. There had been multiple updates throughout the 2010s regarding filming timetables, but every single one of those had missed its marks. For years, there's been no further word on the status of the long-gestating Splinter Cell movie. While promoting the 10th anniversary of John Wick, producer Basil Iwanuk, who signed on produced Splinter Cell film in 2013, confirmed that the previously announced live-action theatrical adaptation is now dead. According to Wanik, the Tom Hardy-led movie is not happening anymore as they couldn't get it right. That film would have been awesome, just couldn't get it right script-wise, budget-wise, but it was going to be great. We had a million different versions of it, but it was going to be hardcore and awesome. That was one of the ones that got away, which is really sad. So no Splinter Cell movie anymore.
And you guys are talking about, taking these video games, turning them into movies. Some of these games, they look like movies as you're actually playing
This
them.
would have been a perfect one to adapt.
I know.
It had a recognizable character.
I'm sharing a bit of a playthrough. This is the finale. There's previous episodes if you want to check it out. Over on this is John Solo, which John Solo is a channel I love, but he doesn't normally do video game playthroughs. He just did this one because he is a lore channel and he talks about mythology and legends and lore. And he did during Halloween, he was talking about the Wendigo.
Yep.
And he said, yeah, a lot of people were saying that this game is, about Wendigos. It does, I could talk about how it does and doesn't match up. And let me tell you, those playthroughs were so much fun. I'd encourage you to check out his channel. I like the kid. He's local, and I really like his channel. So,
I remember, I forgot, who was it here in our little community that was doing a replay of Until Dawn? I forgot who it was, but Until Dawn, was it you, Jesse Green? I don't know.
I don't know. If not him, it might have been
maybe it wasn't Jesse Green.
Who is that? You know what? Let me check because
I don't remember who it was.
There's somebody who just went live today that I've been following who does.
But what was neat about Until Dawn was Hayden Panettiere gets out of the bathtub and she has a towel on, and I wrote in the comments, "Be a shame if that towel fell off." Because it was Hayden Panettiere.
Game Pro is another one that does a lot of watch throughs who may or may not have done that, but yeah.
But
and that's the other thing too. If you watch the game, if you play the game or watch someone playing through the game, the characters on screen, if you look up their voice actors, it's very clear the voice actors were the models for the characters
game,
as well.
I think is the right way to go. I thought that was a way around this whole how they're making a lot of characters ugly. Just model them off the real actor, and then no one can come yelling at you. But then I realized, no, the people making the games they're the ideologues that are in favor of this, but not with Until Dawn. Until Dawn, they were actually doing it with the actors. Until Dawn is basically an interactive movie. Yeah, I mean, I have it on the PlayStation.
A lot of the best games absolutely are.
I have that other one, the one about the werewolf. I have that one too. I forget what that one's called. So all a movie would do is take interactivity out. Yeah, well, maybe they do what they did with the one Final Destination movie on DVD. Remember that?
No.
Did you ever there was a Final Destination movie where you got to select if people lived or died on your DVD.
Oh, really? I'll have to check
and you
it
could
out.
either have them survive or kill them off. So it actually played out differently than the theatrical version. It was this neat little the quarry, that's what it was called, right?
And going back to welcome, by the way, Matanui, to what Matanui was saying, you get the quality isn't always there, right? You need somebody who's who has a graphic eye, right? Like I would say this would be the kind of thing where Zack Snyder would shine. Bring in Zack Snyder, show him a complete playthrough of the thing and say, make this into a movie. Just make it a movie the way he did with Watchmen. And I think it could be really, really good.
Maybe.
And in fact, actually, I hate to say this because, again, I'm not a big Zack Snyder fan, but the more I think about it, the more I think he'd be perfect for this, because if he did his, what do you call that bullet time thing that he likes to do where everything slows down and moves in slow motion, that would be such an homage to the action segments in the game, because the game does that to give you the time to react,
right,
and shoot the thing or do the quick time thing or whatever it is.
I thought that was in reference, like if you're in a high stress situation, time slows down. I've heard that happen too.
Yes, exactly. Okay. But I think that's kind of explaining away a mechanic they need for gameplay, specifically because there's a difference between someone who is trained. For example, if you're talking like this game where it's a weapon fire or something, you're trained, you do it automatically, and you have this muscle memory, and trying to figure out the controls to do the same thing, which take a lot longer,
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Quick time events, is what we used to call
them. One thing to pull up a gun, pull the trigger, right? It's another thing to go left, right, up, down, right, fire, or whatever you got to do.
Well, yeah. Quick time events. By the way, the name of the YouTuber, I believe, was Green Lion Girl. Now I remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. Yes, that was what I was thinking. That's why I was confusing Jesse Green with that. Zack Snyder would just make a 4-hour movie, not because of the story, but because of the overuse of slow motion. Hey.
Yeah.